The Premier League fixtures have been announced, so we already have an idea of what teams and what players we might want to pick for our fantasy Premier League team. Hello guys, welcome back to FPL Mate. Hope you guys have been enjoying the break, but make sure you do drop a like if you are excited for the new FPL season. I guess this is the first video for the FPL 2025-26 season, so I'm pretty gassed about that one. So let's see what we're working with right now. We have in front of us a pretty basic table of all of the fixtures. This is just in alphabetical order for you guys. And by the way, feel free to take any screenshots throughout this video. Make sure I look pretty in the screenshot first rather than putting a strange face during that screenshot. But as you can see, we've got plenty of teams. We've got 20 teams, and we've got the fixtures for the first 8 game weeks here that I've got for you. However, what we really care about is the fixture difficulty, and what we have in front of us here is the teams ordered by their fixture difficulty for the first 8 game weeks. And this is a very basic kind of fixture difficulty table that you may have seen already around everywhere if you've already been looking this up. And yeah, basically uses values for the fixture difficulty. You add all the values for all of the fixtures together based on their difficulty, and you order by who has the easiest fixtures, the lowest total fixture difficulty number, and the highest difficulty numbers at the bottom of the table. But I actually think we can do a little bit better than this, and that is exactly what I have done for you guys today. So this is a weighted fixture difficulty table that I have been working on with an algorithm this morning to make something that is a little bit more useful for your FPL decision making and just getting a initial idea of what we're looking at. And I'm going to tell you how I have made this table, how I have ordered this team, so hopefully you guys can understand how I figured all of this out and why the order is as it is. So first of all, each fixture is assigned a value between 1 to 5, depending on the difficulty. Very easy fixtures are assigned a value of 1, and very hard fixtures are assigned a value of 5. Now, after that, this is where the clever stuff comes in. We've applied a modifier. The further into the future the fixture is, the less value it has. Value begins to decline slowly and progresses more rapidly in later game weeks. And the modifiers are as follows. So we've got a modifier of just a plain ×1 in game week 1. Then in game week 2, it's down to 0.95, then 0.9, 0.85, and then it starts to decay more rapidly with 0.75 in game week 5, then 0.6, 0.4, and 0.15. And the reason I've done this is it means that later fixtures are not taken into as much consideration when making game week 1 decisions, but still have some value. And this table is going to help you prioritize the best immediate fixtures and not worry as much about difficult fixtures later down the line, but it does still give some value to those later fixtures, because obviously with transfers and stuff, we don't actually have to worry about later fixtures as much as those immediate ones, right? So this is what we're dealing with, guys. Sunderland are at the top of this. And by the way, guys, this is just about the difficulty of the fixtures. We're not taking into consideration how good Sunderland are. So even though Sunderland are at the top of this list with 3 very favourable fixtures in the initial 3 game weeks, and really no difficult fixtures at all the way through game week 8, I don't know if we're necessarily going to be picking Sunderland players. And yes, certainly what we've seen in recent seasons is those newly promoted teams have really been struggling, and the gap between the Premier League and Championship seems to be quite vast at the moment. And therefore, despite Sunderland being pretty high on this list, I'm not sure I would love to go for them as FPL picks anyway. But we've got some interesting teams after that. Aston Villa, they do have a couple of averagely difficult fixtures in the first 2 game weeks, but after that actually looks pretty nice. And certainly game week 5 onwards, with Sunderland, Fulham at home, then Burnley at home, and even Spurs in game week 8, that could provide some joy, but it's not quite exciting enough for us in the first 3 game weeks. So you might want to consider some Aston Villa players, particularly if you don't want to wildcard early. We might be having a look at Ollie Watkins, maybe Ezri Konsa as a defender. If Morgan Rogers is still at Aston Villa, probably will be, then we'll see what his FPL price is going to be. By the way, guys, let me know what you think Morgan Rogers is going to be priced at for the new FPL season. Surely he's not going to be 5 million again. Is he worth 7.5? Let me know. After that, we've got Tottenham Hotspur, who is pretty interesting, actually. New manager, Thomas Frank. Can they bounce back? Burnley at home in the initial game, which is really nice. Man City in game week 2, which actually is a fixture that Spurs often do quite well in. And after that, not really difficult fixtures at all. We've got newly promoted Leeds there in game week 7 as well, away from home. So pretty nice fixtures there for Spurs if you can trust them under new management. But if you're looking for something a little bit more reliable, Chelsea here in 4th. No difficult fixtures until Liverpool in game week 7. There's no super easy fixtures here, but there's plenty of fixtures that you think Chelsea can win. So Cole Palmer is definitely going to be on the menu for these fixtures. Maybe you could consider a Chelsea defender as well. If we can get someone for 4.5 million, for example, could be pretty nice. Let me know which Chelsea players you guys are looking at right now. Any of the new signings interesting you? Chelsea always have plenty of new signings. After that, we've got Nottingham Forest. I think this one is difficult to call, really, because the good fixtures really, we're looking at game week 5, game week 6. I think a Forest defender to rotate in and out of your team could be pretty useful, but I'm not sure what levels of trust I have in Forest, given their second half of the season was so poor last year. I know a lot of people will pick Forest players. I don't know if I want to overload on this team. Let me know what you guys think again about that. Everton, now this is where we're talking business. Now Jordan Pickford seems to be a goalkeeper who does super well all season, every season. Sometimes he has little rough patches, but over the course of the season, Pickford always does super well. Now Everton have Leeds in the opening fixture, followed by Brighton, Wolves. We've got Aston Villa, Liverpool, West Ham and Crystal Palace there. There are some clean sheet opportunities here for a defence-first minded Everton team, so could be pretty nice. After that, we've got West Ham. Jared Bowen against Sunderland looks pretty nice. Liverpool have some tough fixtures in the opening 3, but after that, looks a bit better. We've got the likes of Burnley in there, so Salah is going to be on the menu. Wirtz maybe as well. And we've got some teams with kind of average fixtures overall here. Man City, Fulham, Bournemouth down here as well. But let's take our eyes towards the bottom of this table, and we see maybe a couple of teams we may have previously wanted to go heavy in. So the likes of Arsenal and Newcastle here. So Arsenal, Manchester United in the opening fixture, then a nice game against Leeds at home. But it's that Liverpool, Forest, Man City, Newcastle run between game week 3 and game week 6, which actually may cause some issues. So Arsenal players, I don't know if they're going to be super popular in game week 1 this season, as there are some pretty tough fixtures in that run. And of course, we've got Newcastle here as well. Everyone loves a bit of Alexander Isak, maybe Gordon or Barnes or Jacob Murphy, of course, doing well at the back end of last season. Some of those defenders as well. With Aston Villa away and Liverpool at home in the opening 2, is this a place we want to go? Particularly, again, with Arsenal in game week 6, we've got Bournemouth and Brighton in game week 5 and 8 as well. Away from home, not super easy. We have got Leeds in 3 and Wolves in 4 though. So there are some nice game weeks here for Newcastle, but the opening 2 are just not very good at all. So I do worry about that one just a little bit. Of course, teams like Manchester United, I think the combination of how poor they were last season, I definitely accept that Man United could bounce back in the new season. But given that the fixtures are so poor, generally speaking, over the first at least 6 game weeks, I suppose, excluding that Burnley game in game week 3, I would say at this point, Manchester United players are probably going to be off the cards for our game week 1 teams. It's just not worth the risk with who they were last season combined with the poor fixtures. I don't think it is worth taking a punt there personally, but I guess we'll see as things go by. And Brighton, yeah, I don't think we're going to touch Brighton there either, with a really difficult run of fixtures to start off the season. So those are a few teams, a few highlights for us right now. Let me know what you think about them. There's still plenty to think about, guys. This is kind of just an initial look at those fixtures. We do need to consider teams like Man City and Chelsea, who are going to have a shorter pre-season. We're probably going to have injuries and stuff over the summer. We're going to have friendly results that may impact the way we think about things as well. So there's still lots and lots to think about over the coming weeks. We've got don't worry, we've got like 2 months before the new FPL and Premier League season actually starts. So no need to rush any decisions. But certainly we've got some initial ideas here. I'm definitely looking at Everton defenders and Nottingham Forest defenders. I definitely think going for a Aston Villa and Chelsea player or two might be pretty useful. Jared Bowen for that opening game week looks pretty nice as well. And of course, Liverpool. Yes, they don't have super easy fixtures, but they're certainly good enough that we can justify going for the likes of Salah and maybe 1 or 2 others. Do we want to do a triple up with this fixture run? I'm not sure. Maybe a triple up come game week 4 for that Burnley fixture is definitely a possibility. Man City, I think, are maybe going to be a difficult team to pick from with their rotation and their short preseason. But all of this speculation, all of this other stuff can be left for future videos. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys, about the fixtures for the first game week. I mean, this is certainly getting me excited for the new FPL season. I know it's so far away, but hey, like, this is my life now. I'm an FPL nerd, and if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you are as well. So yeah, leave some comments down below. Let's get some discussion going about all of the things we know so far. Make sure you guys do drop a like if you found this video interesting, useful, entertaining, whatever. And do feel free to subscribe if you want to follow along for some FPL content for the new season. Thanks so much for watching, guys. More videos coming in the coming days. Looking forward to seeing you there. But for now, I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.